Hello and welcome to Watch Releases Recap for the week of November 28th until December the 6th. Let's begin with Omega and their new Seamaster 300 no date in titanium case with the bronze and gold bezel. Just a couple of weeks ago we talked about two new Seamasters, one with the black dial and the black bezel, the other one had this monochrome look with a gray brushed dial and a titanium bezel. This week, kind of surprisingly, Omega launched another version of this watch. This one comes with a green dial and a green bezel. I think this one is the most interesting out of the bunch. It is also the most expensive because it does feature this bronze gold blend on the bezel and for the crown. Now, as far as everything else about the watch, it's pretty much the same as the other two versions. It still comes in the same case dimensions, 42mm diameter by about 13.8mm in case height, and these watches are on the larger side. They're about 50mm from one lug to another. The difference between this watch and the other two is the case material, so this one is made out of grade 2 titanium, and the strap or the bracelet is also made out of titanium. This one is more similar to the No Time to Die version of the Seamaster as opposed to the other two. Even the coloring is kind of reminiscent of the No Time to Die. I like the gilt accents, and this green is fairly attractive. I'm really excited to look at this watch in person. I'm excited to see how that shade of green looks in real life. As far as the movement, this one is still powered by the same caliber 8806. It's an in-house automatic movement. It beats at 25,200 vibrations per hour. It has 35 joules and 55 hours of power reserve. This is a fantastic movement. It is MADAS certified, great anti-magnetic properties, and these movements are very accurate. As far as the availability goes, this will be part of the standard collection. It's not a limited edition, and on the mesh strap, it's priced at $10,700 US. If you choose to buy this watch on the rubber strap, which I don't think you should, but if you want to, it's a bit cheaper at $9,900 USD. The new Hanhart 415 ES Chronograph. Hanhart is a German watch brand with a pretty long history in watchmaking. They're very famous for making some great pocket watches, especially their chronographs are a standout. The model line that everybody thinks of when they think of Hanhart chronograph is the 417 ES. Those ones are the more popular ones. Now there's a new collection added to the chronograph line of watches, and I actually think this one here is more attractive, at least to me personally. I like that this one features a bi-directional bezel. It is a ceramic bezel insert, and I also really like the design of this watch. It has the classic vintage chronograph design language. It's a bi-compact chronograph with the two sub-registers, one at the 3, one at the 9. I also like that off-yellow color for the indexes, and the red scale around the dial kind of completes the look to me personally. I'm also glad that this one doesn't come with a date window. I think that would be too much. As it is right now, it is very sort of vintage inspired looking, and of course you do still get the modern materials. So this one is made out of stainless steel. It comes in a 39mm case diameter. It's about 13.5mm in case height, and the like-to-like distance is a conservative 46 mil. So even if you have a bit of a smaller wrist, I think you can still wear this watch fairly comfortably. One of the reasons why this watch is not overly thick is because of its movement. So this one is powered by the Sellita SW510, which is a manual wound chronograph movement. It's not an automatic movement. That's why it's slightly thinner. It beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It comes with 23 joules and 58 hours of power reserve. As far as the pricing and availability, that's one of my favorite parts about this watch. It is part of the Permanent collection. It's not a limited edition, and these watches are priced at €23.90, which in my opinion is a very fair price. The new Zenith Defy Extreme Jungle. Zenith lately has been so weird with their releases. Some of their releases are fantastic. Other ones are this Zenith Defy Extreme Jungle. I think we're getting pranked here. I can't believe this is a real watch that they're trying to sell to real people. I know that design is subjective, but come on, this is one ugly looking watch. So these Defy Extreme watches are sort of the bigger version of the Defy line of watches, which is already fairly large. So these ones are very big, 45mm diameter by about 15.5mm in case height. Luckily, it's made out of titanium, so it will be a bit lighter on your wrist. They come with 200 meters of water resistance. And I guess the best part about these watches is the movement. This one is powered by the caliber El Primero 9004, which is an in-house automatic chronograph movement. It has 50 hours of power reserve. It beats at 36,000 vibrations per hour, although the chronograph beats at 360 vibrations per hour, so it just goes around the dial very, very fast. You can track 1/100th of a second. It's a very cool party trick, and because the caseback is see-through, you get to admire this movement. Other than that, I can't say too much positive about this watch. As I said, the design is very subjective, but come on, what are they thinking? So these sort of stripy bits, they kind of look like they're made out of wood, but they're actually made out of tiger eye stone. I didn't even know that thing existed, but apparently it's named as such because it has this sort of tiger-like stripe pattern on the stone. That's why it's named that. But I don't know. I'm lost for words. I don't know what they're thinking, especially with the price point of this watch. So luckily it is a limited edition to only 50 pieces. We're not going to see too many of these out in a wild, get it, wild jungle. But even if it wasn't limited edition, I would bet good money that I'm going to go my whole life without seeing one out and about. Because the pricing is also very high. These ones are priced at 28,000 euro. I don't know. The new Czapek Promenade Transparencies Viridian Green in collaboration with Fratello magazine. Fratello and Czapek actually had a collaboration back in 2021, I believe. That watch was very successful and it's sold out. Now they're back for another collaboration, which I think looks even better. So this new version of the watch is actually based on a watch that Czapek released earlier this year. And this new version pretty much comes in the same case. It's about 38 millimeters in case diameter. It's only 10.8 millimeters in case height. And it features a 42 millimeter lock-to-lock distance, so this one should wear on the smaller side. It comes with 50 meters of water resistance, and it is a sapphire sandwich, because of course one of the party tricks of this watch is that see-through skeletonized design language. Usually I'm not a huge fan of skeleton watches, but I think on this one it looks really cool, especially because of the architecture of Czapek movements. So this one is powered by the caliber SXH7.1. It's an in-house micro rotor movement. It has a vibration frequency of 4 Hz. It features 25 joules and about 60 hours of power reserve. As far as the design of this watch goes, I really like the shade of green chosen here. It has this sort of gradient pattern, but it doesn't spread out from the center of the dial. It sort of spreads out from the left to right, where that subdial is by the 4 o'clock position. It reminds me of deep, fresh water. If you look at the river, that is very clear. That's kind of the color that I see. And as you can imagine, this won't be exactly a cheap watch. It's a limited edition to only 50 pieces, and the price is 32,000 euro. So yeah, quite a bit of money, mainly due to that movement. The new IWC Ingenieur Automatic 40, now with the blue dial. In 1976, Gerald Genta actually designed a watch for IWC. It was called the Ingenieur, and it featured this sort of integrated bracelet design with the bezel. It is very similar to some of the other Gerald Genta designs. Last year in 2023, IWC brought back this model. It features a 40mm case diameter, it's about 10.8mm in case height, and about 45.5mm lock-to-lock distance. It features 100 meters of water resistance, and it's made out of stainless steel. Now for 2024, there is this new version with a blue dial. Of course, they're going to release this version. I'm just surprised it took them a year to bring this one out. It is still powered by the same movement. It's a caliber 32111. It's an automatic movement beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It has 21 joules and about 120 hours of power reserve. As far as the pricing goes, this will not be a limited edition. It's part of the standard catalog, and this one is priced at 11,700 USD. I'm not sure if it's a fair price or not, because on one hand, yeah, almost 12 grand for this thing seems kind of steep. On the other hand, that's kind of where the watch industry is right now. So I don't know. I really don't know how popular these Ingenieur automatics are. Maybe if you know, leave a comment in the comment section below. The new Hublot Big Bang Tourbillon by Samuel Ross. Samuel Ross is a fashion designer and a creative person. He has collaborated with Hublot on various occasions prior, and now there's this new collaboration for a limited edition watch. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but I thought this watch was kind of interesting in some ways. I kind of like that honeycomb pattern on the case and on the dial. I think that looks kind of interesting. This one is made out of titanium. It features a 44mm case diameter, and it's about 13.75mm in case height. So it's actually not overly thick. It is, of course, a tourbillon movement with a rotor on the front. If you can see by the 12 o'clock position, that's actually where the rotor is. I think that's kind of interesting. Again, it doesn't really improve the watch, but you know, at least they're trying something different. The best part about this watch is the movement. It's powered by the Hublot caliber HUB 4035. It's an in-house automatic movement that beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It has 26 joules and 72 hours of power reserve. And as I mentioned many times, it is a tourbillon movement with a tourbillon regulator at the 6 o'clock position. This is a limited edition to only 50 pieces, and the price is $143,000 US. It's kind of surprising to me how many of these $100,000 plus limited editions Hublot is making, and I guess they're selling them out. Are they not selling them out? What do they do with leftover inventory? If they're not very popular, why are they making so many of these? I have so many questions. I wish I could get to the bottom of this. I wish I could talk to one of the dealers and they would be transparent enough for me to find out. I'm so curious who's buying these watches and if they're actually selling them out, or if it's all just, you know, sell 10 of them or whatever and then forget about the limited edition and move on to the next one. So if you know, leave a comment in the comment section below, and actually leave a comment about any of the watches that I talked about, because this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you next time. Bye.